Hello everyone. If you have a large dataset and you are trying to search and extract specific data from it efficiently, then combining index, match, and COUNTIF functions can make your life a lot easier. You can easily get your job done within a click. So, this is Zehad Rian from Excel and today we'll learn several methods on how to use index, match, and counting functions with multiple criteria. So let's get started. In our first case, we want to combine the index and match function in a array formula with multiple criteria. Here we have product, color, size, and price in column B, C, D, and E. We have already set three criteria: product, color, and size in B4, 5, and 6 cells. Now we want to get our result in the D7 cell. In the D7 cell, we have to enter the formula. So at first, we'll write down the index function, which basically searches the range of cells that contains the data we want to extract. In this case, we are using the price as criteria, so you have to select E10 to A18 in the below table. Now we have to use the match function, which basically searches for the lookup value in the logical value area. Now we have to select the lookup value as 1, and after that in the lookup array section we have to select the proper criteria. So at first we have our first criteria, which is product in the D4 cell, and we have to find it from the B10 to B18 cell. Then we have to go for our next criteria, which is in the D5 cell, and the criteria belongs to the C10 to C18 cell. Now again we have to set our third criteria, which is in the D6 cell, and we have to find it from D10 to D18 cell. Now we have inserted our lookup array. After that we have to select that we want to find which kind of match, less, exact, or greater than. As we are trying to get the exact match, we'll select the 0 here, and now we have to end it with the closing bracket. Now if we hit the enter button, then we'll get our perfect result. You will see that the whole formula looks for a row in the table where the values in the cells of B10, B18, C10, C18, and D10 to D18. It finds the matches in the D4, 5, and D6 respectively. It then returns the value in the corresponding range of E10 to E18 and shows the result in the D7 cell. So that's how the whole formula works, and that's how we can easily combine index and match function in array formula. In our new case, we want to combine index and match function in non-array formula with multiple criteria. To do that, at first we'll use the same dataset like the previous one, and we have set the same criteria of previous one. Now if we go to the D7 cell and enter our new formula, then you will see that it is a bit similar to the previous method, but there is a slight change. It uses an additional index function in this case. This additional index function is used to return a single column of data instead of a logical value in this case. Now let's discuss the formula a little bit, as it is very much similar to the previous one. At first we have the index function. This index portion generates an array formula of logical values just like the previous one, but the index function is used to return only a single column of data instead of an array. So then we have used the match function. The match function portion is used like the previous one to look the value of the logical values returned by the index number. After that we have again used the index number just to extract the values from the data E10 to E18. Now if we hit the enter button, then we'll get our perfect result. So that's how we can easily combine index and match function in case of non-array formula. In our new case, we want to combine COUNTIFs, index, and match functions with multiple criterias. To do that, at first we have cells, coat, shirt, and t-shirt in column B, C, D, and E. Now we have already set our criteria, and now we want to find the norm of cells in a day in the E5 to E7 cell. At first, we have to go to the data range area and press the Ctrl A option to select the whole data range. Then we have to press Ctl+T to create a table. Now, if everything is selected correctly, then you have to press OK to convert it as a table. Now, you have selected the table name as table 2. Now, if you press the enter button, then you'll get your perfect table. Now, you have to go to the E5 cell to insert the formula. In this case, you will write down the formula beginning with COUNTIF function. So, you will write COUNTIFs, which will basically count the number of cells in the column returned by the index number in the following section. In the following section, we have used the index function, which is used to return a reference to a specific column in this table. Now we have to select the table number here. So write down the table 2 as it is our table number. Then we have to use the 0 as our row number, and then we have to use the match function to find the perfect match. In the lookup value, we have to select the B5 as our criteria. Then we have to select the table headers. Then we have to use the exact match, so we'll select 0. Now we'll use our next portion, which is the criteria. Now we have selected our X as criteria, so select it and press the enter button. Then you'll get your perfect result. Now copy down the formula to get the result for every cell. If we put it all together, then this formula counts the number of times the letter X appears in each column from the B5 cell. So that's how you can use combination of COUNTIFs, index, and match function to get the job done. In our new case, we want to use COUNTIF function along with AND logic to get the job done. At first, we have product, color, and size in column B, C, and D. We have already set multiple criteria: product, color, and size in B4, B5, and B6 cell. Now we want to get our total count in the C7 cell. To get the result, at first we have to go to the C7 cell and enter our new formula, which begins with the COUNTIF functions. The COUNTIF function mainly counts the number of rows where the value is found. Now at first here we have to select the table range, which is B10 to B18. Then as we have inserted the product as table range, then we have to select the C4 as our criteria. Then we have to again select the range, which is C10 to C18, and then we have to select color in the C5 as our next criteria, and in last case we'll again select D10 to D18 as our range, and then we have to select size as our last criteria. Then if we hit the enter button, then we'll get our perfect result. The formula is basically used to count the number of rows where the value in column B matches C4, the value in column C matches C5, and the value in column D matches in C6. This formula is very much useful when you need to count the number of rows in a table or range that meet multiple criteria. So what does the answer total count to means? It means that the criteria we have set, code, green, medium, it has found 2 times in this data range. If you look correctly, then you will find that code, green and medium has been here in 2 times. So the formula has given the perfect result. So that's how we can use COUNTIF functions along with logic for multiple criteria. In our last case, we want to utilize COUNTIFS function along with the OR function. Now, at first we have product, color, size in column B, C and D. Here again we have the total count number in the C4 cell. In this case, our main target is to count the color but with different criteria. That means we'll use the multiple color norm here to count in this C4 cell. To do that, we'll use the combination of COUNTIFs and sum function. So at first, we'll go to the C4 cell and enter our logical value. At first, we have to use the sum function, which basically adds the total number, and then we have to use the COUNTIF function, which counts the number of cells in the range. In this case, the range is C7 to C15. Then we have to select our criteria here. As criteria, we have to write it down in our curly bracket. So we have to choose the curly bracket option and select our criteria 1, which is I'll write red, and then inside the double quotation, and we have select our next criteria, which is green, and now we'll write it and in the double quotation. Now if we get our job done, then you'll see that you have got your perfect result. Let's evaluate the formula a little bit. Here the COUNTIF function basically counts the number of cells in the C7 to C15 range that contains either red or green. It returns an array of 2 counts, 1 for each value. Then we have the sum function, which basically adds up the 2 counts and returns the total count of the cells that we have got. So if we press the enter button, then we have got our perfect results. That's how you can utilize COUNTIF function along with the OR logic. So that's it for today. You can use any of these methods accordingly, or you can download this practice workbook from the link below. Hope this will help you. If you have any questions, suggestions or feedback, please let us know in the comment section, or you can have a glance at exceldemy.com. Thanks for watching us. If you like this video, please consider subscribing for more content like this.